Neighbors, today we're doing crab drop soup. You know when you eat something very spicy, I'm thinking mala, hot pot or stir fry, or extra spicy tteokbokki. Milk doesn't cut it. You need some sort of broth to like calm down your stomach. And I was thinking we're gonna do crab drop soup. I also like egg drop soup, but we're gonna drop in an egg into this crab drop soup, so why not get both? So I have indeed nailed down this recipe. I'm gonna show you a few tips, like for example, just using egg whites so that the soup is very clear and it looks very appetizing. And at the very end, I did see Mala Tteokbokki on sale at the supermarket, so I'm gonna try out both and see if it really works. Anyway, come join me in the kitchen and then let's kiku. I think that's the sound a crab makes. In Korea, we love to use imitation crab. It's called kremi in Korean. Normally this kremi, they come in this rectangle form, but I got sucked into the packaging. This makes it look like this is some king crab, you know, like a big arm piece, but I think it's just multiple pieces packed together. Yep, I'm right. They're just stuck together. You'll see this imitation crab kremi being used in kimbap as well, very popular ingredient. With your hands, you can just peel this into smaller pieces. Now, of course, if you go to Costco or any other market and you get fresh crab, even tastier, right? You'll get like the fresh natural juices going into the broth. Actually, I'm gonna do just a little bit more. So let's do 200 grams in total. And this one, I like to just give a little tear so we get non-uniform length on each one. Makes it look a little bit more natural. And then half an onion. I want you to slice them real thin. Same size piles, good. And then some green onion for garnish. Very nice. And the last thing, of course, is gonna be our egg. Now we're just gonna use the egg whites. When you use just the egg whites, I personally think the egg drop soup looks a lot better. We're gonna use 3 egg whites. Give the egg whites a few chops, it makes it a lot easier to mix. And once that soup starts simmering, we need to thicken it up. So we're gonna use a starch mixture. Let's do 6 tablespoons of water. That's 1 and 6. And then 2 tablespoons of potato starch powder, or you can also use cornstarch powder. It's 1 and 2. All right, it's a 1 to 3 ratio because I don't want it to thicken too much. That's good. And then if we focus our attention to the left, for broth today, I'm using simply water that's been soaking with some dashima pieces. That's about 4 or 5 small rectangle pieces. So maybe about a kelp piece like that. Now, if dashima or kelp is hard to find in your country, you can just use regular water. No worries, because we're gonna use some chicken stock later. So how long should I soak it? Ideally overnight, but in our busy lives, for the very least 30 minutes. All right, so let's add this 3 1/4 cups of water. And then we're gonna wait until this comes up to a boil. Typically at Chinese restaurants, they're using chicken stock. So after you boil a lot of chickens, that leftover natural juice, if you use it to make this soup, it's delicious. But cooking a whole chicken just to make this soup would be a little bit too much. So what you can use is some chicken stock. In Korea, they have this chicken stock in liquid form or in this powder form. For this soup, I highly recommend getting the liquid form. It's very nice. I tried it with both. But I prefer this. If you can't find a chicken stock in like concentrated liquid form, you can of course use bouillon cubes as well. But later you're gonna have to season to taste to make sure that it tastes on point. All right, we just need 2 tablespoons worth. You see it's just concentrated, right? Comes out like a loose gravy. We're gonna need 2 tablespoons worth. And it smells really nice, much better than the powder form. All right, once it comes to boil, we'll pick out the dashima out. Then let's add in our chicken stock. Mix that in. Get all that goodness out. All right, and I want you to sample your chicken stock broth. Whew, that's good. Now the chicken broth, it's strong and it's salty, and we're not gonna add any more salt. So in case if you're using powder, add a little bit more if it feels like it's bland. Then we're gonna add in our kremi as well as our onions. Give this a nice stir. We're gonna wait for it to come back up to boil. All right, and once it does, do you remember our eggs? I want you to give a little quick stir again. And this part is important. I want a little skinny waterfall as you pour. Around, go around. And a key tip here is once you add the egg, don't stir it around or else the soup gets very dirty looking. Just let it cook. After around 20 seconds, give your starch water a little mix. We'll turn off the heat. I want you to give the soup a taste. Oh, that's delicious. If you need a little bit of salt, you can. I'm good. Then half tablespoon of sesame oil. Bring all the flavors together. And then of course a handful of our green onions. Now we can mix everything together. There it is. Neighbors, take a look at your crab drop soup. Beautiful, no? Wow. You see the texture of the soup? It's just slightly thick. All right, let me do our taste test. Oh my gosh. That sesame oil at the end, it really just balances everything out. This is just like any takeout. You're hit with that crab flavor in the beginning, and then you get the soft pieces of egg, and the broth is simply perfect. Oh my goodness. This is so good. I'm really happy with this one. Now, we have to try. At the market, what inspired all of it was this mala, that Chinese hot pot, that really spicy one, plus tteokbokki. Let's cook this. I'm curious to see what's inside. Oh, they have the Mala Tteokbokki sauce here. That's hilarious. They have the tteokbokki, Korean rice cakes, then they have the dried tofu skin. I'm curious what this is. Maybe it's like sagul broth that they iced up. Doesn't look like tteok or rice cake. I'm so confused. Guys, I haven't had like a ready meal like this. I don't think I bought one in years. I usually just cook from scratch because I enjoy cooking. But here we go. Let's try it out. All right, so I gotta start with some water. 약한 맛, which means weak spice. Add 250 milliliters of water. 중간 맛, medium spice. Eyeballed around 200 ml. And I don't know what this is, but good luck. Hopefully I'm not just putting in a huge ice cube. No way, no way. Yeah, ice cubes don't look like that. Oh, this is noodles. Yeah. Now I'm seeing. This is the thing that piqued my interest. See how good of a combination those flavors are? These are these very thick noodles that you get at the mala shop. All right, that looks done. I'm gonna start using some yugi, Korean bronzeware. You can get it on gochujang. Perfect for plating tteokbokki. Wow. All right, so let me give this a try. See how spicy it is. It looks spicy, it smells really spicy. Oh my god, this is delicious. Absolutely delicious. This would be such a hit. Oh, this mala sauce with the tteokbokki sauce combined, this is on point. Oh my goodness. Whew. Wow, we gotta do something like this on the channel. And when that sweat starts to form on your forehead, we go for our delicious crab soup. Wow. Next time you're planning for a spicy dish and you know your family or your friends are going to be at the table and they're going to be reaching for something, make that crab drop soup. Be a good friend. Let them cool down on the inside, all right, before too many sensitive topics come to the dinner table. All right?